Welcome. Episode number 6 of the Ride Out podcast. We finally got Mason Gibson back. This is like our
Yes,
homecoming
sir.
episode. Man, we
I'm
have
glad to
a
be back.
we have a 4 episode drought without you, man. I missed you on here.
I missed it too. Trust me,
I
trust
just
me.
miss you in general, man. Like, how have you been? How have you been?
I've been good, I've had a surgery recently. So getting back, can't wrestle for a little bit right now. So hitting the gym hard and just focusing on getting bigger right now. So
And you can see Mason Gibson wearing the Penn State sweatshirt, recently committing to Penn State along with his older brother Eric Gibson. Now, do you
yes,
want to
sir.
talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, just Penn State just felt great. Great to be there. It's right in my backyard, only like an hour away. And the coaches, the rest of there are always happy to be there. They're willing to help you. It's my dad also goes up there Monday, Wednesdays, so we just drive up with him. So it's kind of easy, you know what I mean? Like Cornell was like 4 hours away, you know what I mean? So and the RTC, LWC room, it's amazing. Great competition there. Like David Taylor, like Kyle Snyder, they're not scared to like wrestle little kids. They'll make it. They'll go there and wrestle anybody and make them better. So it's just a great environment to be in.
And speaking of Penn State, RBY just recently announced that he'll have a documentary coming out about him growing up in Tucson, South Tucson, Arizona, and that'll be out July 31st. Now, personally, I don't know about you, Mason, but I'm really excited about that. This looks like a great documentary.
For sure, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch it. One of Penn State wrestlers, I look up to, and so ready to see his story and how he became what he is now. So
Yeah, and especially how he's come from, in his said, he's come from being dirt poor to being at the top of the NCAA podium twice so far. Probably going to see it this year. Who knows? Who knows? Just
I
saying.
think I think I think he gets it.
I do too.
No, I mean they ain't fixed the contender, but I
He's
mean
not RBY.
you got Michael McGee and Vito Rujao, but I don't know if they're on RBY's level yet right now.
I 100% agree with you.
That's
Now,
good. That's good.
speaking of NCAAs, man, what is going on with 149? I mean, we have Austin Gomez beating Yanni Diakomahalis,
Yep.
Austin Gomez beating Sasso. Then we have Sasso beating Parco beating Pinero, and then Pinero and then Yanni beating Pinero. This is a wild weight class. This is amazing. And not even throw in Shane Van Ness, who just wrestled Austin Gomez, lost to him 6-2. He's the dark horse of this. Where do you see this bracket going, Mason? Because this is going to be crazy in March.
Well, I like the underdogs. You know what I mean? So obviously, Cornell's Yanni is the favorite to win this weight class, but he took a big loss to Gomez, who also lost to Pinero. So I like to think that Pinero and Gomez will be the finals, and then you got Sasso. You have like Sasso and Yanni for third, and you got Parco and who was the other one we were talking about?
Van Ness.
Van Ness for fifth and sixth. I mean, Van Ness is dark horse, so he can come in any time. I mean, he wrestled a great match with Pinero and Gomez. Just kind of like I feel like next time it'll be way better. Just got the first time feel for like a redshirt freshman going against these big guys. You know what I mean? So I think this weight class is going to be very like it's going to like surprise a lot of people because like we talked about earlier. You said they beat them now, but that's just preseason. In March, it's completely different. They're already they're gonna fix what they got to fix, and it's gonna be one heck of a weight class to watch.
Now, personally, I think the finals is going to be Austin Gomez and Yanni Diakomahalis. That's, of course, if the seeding comes out. And I might be completely wrong. It might be impossible because it might be the semis. Because who knows how this is going to land going into March. We still have the Big Tens and all the other fun stuff coming up. But I think it's going to be
Facts.
Gomez and Yanni in the finals with third
Why do
place
you think that?
being,
Why do you think that?
well, Yanni took a loss beginning of the year, but that's beginning of the year. Now, as you said, you could be said that for anyone, but this is the beginning of the year, Yanni. I still think Yanni's the best in the weight class. You just have to give him time to prove himself, if that makes sense.
But you also have return NCAA finalist Sammy Sasso in there, so
Yes, I think Sasso will place very high at this tournament too. So I personally have Yanni Gomez in the finals. Third place. This is where the dark horse comes in. I think it's going to be Van Ness and Pinero.
Oh, you think the two redshirt freshmen?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have two freshmen going or battling out for third place.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's
Then
not a bad,
I have
not a
Sasso
bad third
taking
and
fifth,
fourth. Who?
but
Sasso and who?
Sasso taking fifth. I have Sasso taking fifth.
Cal Parker just beat Panera as well, so you can't count him out. He's right there. ASU they've been good right now. So,
100%, man.
but that's one crazy weight class to watch.
This reminds me of 2019 133. I mean, we had Dayton Fix, Siriano, and this was RBY's first year wrestling, or I guess it'd be his first NCAA year wrestling. That was a crazy weight class. That was really fun to watch. I got to watch that in Pittsburgh with my dad that year.
That's right, you were
Pretty
there.
good seats too. That was awesome.
I've never been to an NCAA tournament. I'm hoping to be one soon, but from what you're telling me, it's pretty awesome.
Oh,
Great
I've
experience.
gone to two so far. I've went to the one. If you've seen the videos in March of this year or last year, actually, because Happy New Year to everyone watching this. It's 2023, no longer 2022. Um, and Merry Christmas, because I know y'all are watching this after Christmas. Yeah,
About 2 weeks after, 3 weeks after Christmas.
yes, but better late than never.
True.
But we went out to Detroit, Michigan this year or last year. I keep saying that. I'm not used to it yet. For the NCAAs,
You'll get there.
got to see Penn State, or Iowa would actually take home the team title this year, which is the first time in forever, man. But no, I'm wrong. It's Penn State. I have all my years mixed up. I'm thinking of 2021.
I was thinking a little bit. I was like,
Yeah, I
wait a
was
minute.
because I remember how I made a thing how Penn State went 4 for 4 and Iowa went like 0-2 in the finals and still won. But we got to see Penn State reclaim their national championship this last year in Detroit, which was really fun.
Are we
And
talking about
same,
COVID year?
yes, 2022. I'm thinking about. Man, I have all my years mixed up. This New Year's
Hey, it's
talk
all
has me
good.
all messed up, man.
You're getting old. You're getting old, bro.
Yeah, I'm forever
He
young.
said, man.
Forever young.
14 years young.
15 years young.
15 years young. Attaboy.
But
Hold on. Actually, NCAs. How do you think 125 is gonna be? You think Spencer Lee gets his 4?
I think Spencer Lee gets his 4. I think Spencer Lee becomes another 4-timer.
I mean, were you able to watch him versus Matt Ramos?
That was interesting.
Like, I know, like, it was the first period to come back, but like Ramos took him down and then threw him right to his back.
Well, that shows you that it doesn't matter how big you are. It's the matter of how fight, or it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the fight.
But the fight and the dog.
And
Yes, sir.
you don't really expect to see a name like that, Matt Ramos, coming out and doing that to Lee. But the way Lee fought that, but I still think Lee has that pretty safe and sound.
Yeah, Pat Glory's down at 125 now.
I still think
Princeton
Spencer
guy.
Lee has him.
I mean, he gave a good match to Siriano last year, so.
Man, I remember that match. Everyone was booing Siriano, which is crazy in my opinion.
You gotta love him. You gotta love him. I love Siriano.
Yeah, man, he scares me.
I think he scares a lot of people. He scares a lot of people.
He's staring into my soul. But after his semifinals win, he stood up and just stood there. That was scary, man. Like, what is he looking at? What are you looking at?
He stood there, and I just think everybody was in shock. They're like, you know what I mean? But I was just asking because Spencer Lee, he's coming off 2 ACL surgeries, and I've been there with an ACL and meniscus surgery, so like it's very what's the word? You got tough and grit to come back like amazing, like win NCAA title. But like Like anything can happen though. But like you said, you didn't expect Matt Ramos, but you gotta really you can't forget he was a junior world champ, just like Spencer.
Absolutely.
So like that's two world champs going at it. It's like he knew his stuff, He knew upper body. So like next time he wrestles Matt Ramos, don't go upper body with him.
Yeah, I guess. All right, going off to what you said about Siriano, how about his performance at the World Cup, man? He came back and he showed why he's one of the best in there, man. Coming back and surprisingly, I'm surprised he got to wrestle, but he showed why he is one of the best in the world.
In my opinion, he is the best. You know what I mean? Like I understand he can take losses sometimes. Like where he lost to Tomasello somewhere when we was out of unexpected. I think it was the Bill Farrell tournament. I don't know if you remember or
It
not.
was, yes, 2019. It was.
That's when he kind of went missing after that. You know what I mean?
Man, I
And
swear
then
he went on his he pulled a Terry Brands, went off into the wild and went off the grid for a few years.
I mean, but that worked. I mean, that loss, just he went back. He's NCAA title and looking great at the World Cup, and and I think it's a lot that is. I think he's very lean and healthy and looks in shape all the time. So that definitely helps him there, and
Yeah,
he's
I
gonna
mean,
be he's gonna be unstoppable. I think in the international level. So
yeah, you can tell
he's
you
gonna
can
win a
definitely
world
tell that
title.
that was a skeleton in his closet. I was really motivating him. And
I bet he had a picture of him. Just you wake up every morning, it's right there.
see, I've never gone that crazy over a something like that, but I've seen people who have had their phone background of being the person they lost to and reminders saying destroy them, you know what they did to you, and it's like, bro, I understand that you're motivated, but it's a wrestling match. I do some of the stuff like that, but it's not to the extreme of where you're having him as your phone background. I mean, he's not your
Well, that
girlfriend. He's not your
well, yeah,
girlfriend.
but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I
You
mean?
got to do what you got to do. I'm not
Like I
saying
got
I'm
this
not saying
water
I do
bottle.
it, but I respect it.
Water bottle. I take it every day. Lift and push harder than you did yesterday. A little motivational stuff. It goes a long way. So
Yeah. I'm not saying I would do it personally for the phone background stuff, but I truly do respect it because you know what their motive is and you know what their drive is.
I was my background for a long time. After I just kept on losing, but I had to switch it. I switched it after the update.
Man, iOS 16 is so cool. See, Mason, what's your phone background? Let's take off a little off topic here. What's your phone background, man?
Um, Actually, I have to look. It's like that thing where it changes all the time. Like
Yes.
when you can tap on it, it changes.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of photos of me and my homies. There's one of me and you.
Currently mine is I'm a big album listener guy, so we have a few albums on here. Gemini
Ned's dropping
Legs,
a e,
Call Me If You
e,
Get
EP
Lost,
soon.
Abney.
Ned's gonna drop a freestyle real quick. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm
No,
joking.
bro, I don't do freestyle. I Greco.
Oh, that was good.
That
That
was
was
good.
good.
That was good. Yeah, but
That should be.
speaking,
You gotta tell that joke. You gotta
yeah,
tell that joke sometime.
speaking of freestyle, the Freestyle World Cup, man, going back onto it after you kind of got off track about the iOS 16, man. But how about Burrows losing to his first ever Iranian? That is wild. And Yanni losing to the same Iranian lost to in the World Finals.
Yeah, but it was a lot. The match was a lot different. Yanni definitely made improvements. It was a great, better match. But the Burrows and Iran match, everybody loses at some point. You know what I mean? So I
We're
mean,
all
he's gonna
human.
take it like every loss.
We're all human. And you could definitely tell what Yanni knew what he needed to work on, and he worked on it for as many times as he could before this tournament. And he looked better than he did that last match against him in the World Finals. But what still shocks me is that Iranian, he's still technically eligible for U23. He's only
Yeah, I know that's crazy.
21 years old, 20 years old. That's crazy in my
I think
opinion.
it's 20, turning 21 soon.
Turning 21. He's not even legal drinking age in the States. That shows you some of the talent that's coming up in Iran, man. They're gonna be some people to watch out for.
That's true. That's true. But USA, I mean, we won the World Cup. You know what I mean? So we're still on top.
Yep, we're still the best freestyle wrestler nation in the country. But
Imagine, is there whether Ned when you become international, you got to make a Greco World Cup if it's not a thing already.
of course, well, the Greco World Cup's a thing, Mason.
I didn't watch it. That might have sounded
Oh,
dumb, but
Mason,
I
you
didn't know
gotta
there was a
watch
Greco World
Greco.
Cup.
You gotta watch.
Okay, it's not that I don't watch Greco. It's just that's all right. Like I'm folk style. You're Greco.
That makes 100% sense. Speaking of Greco, Mason, so we know
Uh,
you're a Greco Fargo champion. So how has it helped you with your wrestling?
position awareness. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna go for a throw. You're gonna make sure your hips are right, and there's pressure, and then you can't go throw to throw. You know what I mean? And honestly, it's like you gotta make you think a little bit. Like if you're going for a throw, you can't touch your legs, and there's some things I think about. So like makes you a lot of mat awareness. You know what I mean? Just thinking the whole time. Helps a lot. And any other, it's like wrestling is all wrestling. You know what I mean? Greco helps freestyle. Freestyle helps folk style, Greco. So
And it's like with some languages like Italian and Spanish, you can kind of talk to each other in them. Yeah, you'll hear me out.
I don't
Hear me out.
I don't
This
know.
is
I don't
gonna
know if
sound
that's the thing.
super.
No,
It
no,
start
no,
off
no, no,
super
no.
weird, but
Bro just
all
said
wrestling is
Italian.
alike. All
What is
wrestling is alike. Really,
that? No, wrestling is wrestling.
wrestling all originated from one wrestling style, Greco-Roman. Or um, and it all originates from that style, so it all kind of feeds in with each other, if that makes sense.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there like a Greek god named like Roman or something?
Mason, what it was is they took parts from the Greek. I don't remember. I don't start with a P.
The Romania and Greece.
I really don't know that answer. I'm going to be honest. I should know that
I've
answer.
never really looked up the history behind that. I just know there's three styles of wrestling, but there's only two international ones. So
Yeah. Speaking of
all right,
international,
next topic. Let's next topic. What's
speaking of international freestyle wrestling, women's wrestling, man, women's wrestling. How about that, Mason?
how many schools are we at right now in PA? Like
In
90 some?
Pennsylvania, we are just under 100. I think we're at 93. Let me fact check that real quick. I believe we're at 93, and we have 7 more to go, 5 more to go. We're not that far from it, man. And when we hit it,
Just
we're going to hit it.
I know, or at least last time I saw it was 90. So, but I mean, hey, it's the fastest growing sport. You know what I mean? It's great. Honestly, I love to see it. I try to support as much as I can.
90 women's
Oversharing.
wrestling schools in Pennsylvania, and
90.
PIAA has yet to sanction it. What are you doing?
Just wait till we hit 100. Just wait till we hit 100.
If we hit 100 and they do not sanction it, there is a literal problem with PIAA. I'm just saying that.
We've already figured that out. You know what I mean?
Just ask my friends over at Bishop McCourt.
Oh, bro. Ned's shots have been fired.
Oh no, no shots have been fired. It's just
I'm joking. I'm joking.
we love all the Bishop McCourt.
Burke's Catholic versus Bishop McCourt.
Love to see that.
Wait him. You would. You want? Do y'all even have a high school team?
Yes, we have a pretty good high school team.
I've never seen it. I only see you posting about like you and Gunner.
That's because we don't really get much publicity because we're just starting up our program a few years ago. Like last year is our first official year competing in the league for our county and districts and stuff. And we won our county. We won counties for the individual. Took second as a team for the sectional tournament, and then qualified for districts, which was awesome. Or we won sectionals, and we took second in the county leagues, placing behind Wilson.
Wilson. I never heard of Wilson.
Fun fact: I almost went to Wilson High School, which is It's a great high school. It's huge. It's a huge high school. They hold the biggest.
Facts.
They hold the biggest tournament in like South, the like Central, like Eastern PA junior high. It's the Wilson tournament, the Tom Utt Memorial Tournament, or something like that. And there's about 50 something teams, and I'm looking at winning it this year again.
You better, Ned. You better. I know where you live though, so like you don't win. I'm
Oh man, I'm scared.
like,
We should
no, but
get we should get back on the topic of women's wrestling though. We get a little bit off track.
that's what I was gonna say. Let's get back to women's. So there was a talk I saw a little bit about Greco for girls at Fargo. What's your opinion on that?
I think that's a wonderful idea
I think it's
because
awesome too.
I like women's wrestling because I like to see the sport grow. Because wrestling is one of the best things, if not the best thing I ever did in my life. And having that opportunity for everyone to wrestle is something that I think is an amazing thing, Mason. And we live in such an amazing country where we have the rights to do whatever you feel like religiously, or like, you know what I mean? We can do whatever we want. It's
I
awesome.
know what you mean. I mean, but we live in Pennsylvania. Like this is supposed to be the number one state wrestling state. You know what I mean? And it's not even have girls wrestling sanctioned. So like obviously
Sad.
we're not doing something right. Like kind of disappoints me in a lot of ways. So, but like as well like Greco Fargo for girls. I think it's also fun. You know, like boys are have that opportunity to double up, and not a lot of girls can because I know like some older girls they do juniors, but they can't do cadets. You know what I mean? But a lot of cadets do juniors, so they have the opportunity to double champion, double All American. But the ones that are just juniors, you know what I mean? They can't get that chance of double like everybody else does. Every boy does. You know what I mean?
Now, personally,
So
Mason, I didn't double. I just did a Greco. But yes, I think it's an awesome idea for girls to be able to double, not just in freestyle and juniors and cadets, but also in two different styles of wrestling, both the Olympic styles.
that would be imagine a girl. No, that could be like them winning four
They
cadet
could,
and junior
they could
freestyle,
win
cadet and
four
junior
titles.
Greco.
Oh my lord, they could win four titles, Mason. That is awesome.
In one weekend. Well, actually, span like 2 weeks. Dude. Fargo's so long, but it's so fun,
Fargo's so long.
bro.
It's
Because
so awesome.
you get there day not a night before, and then you practice and you check in, and then the night of check-ins, um, weigh-ins for cadets. Like I don't know, like
Or
they
like
gotta
the
set
day
up
after.
weigh-ins. Then the day after, cadets weigh in, and the juniors come that night. The next day, juniors wrestle. They have practice, get the weight off, but cadets weigh in and wrestle, and it's like that. And then the girls come, they weigh in, wrestle, and then just keep weighing and wrestling. Keep that pattern happens for like 2 weeks. But hey, but that's what I love. You know, you got to battle the weight cut. At the same time, you got to keep your mental toughness and wrestle. That's why I love it. I love it. You know what I mean?
It get distracted running out there, man. There's a lot of distractions. Um,
Distractions. Talking about that. My favorite part about Fargo. Y'all might think it's weird. The cafe.
the cafe was so good. Their
No, I'm
food
not
was really
talking.
good.
I mean, the food's amazing, but I really couldn't eat it because I was making weight all the time. But like, just like hanging out in there and just like talking to your friends, and get social in there. It's just awesome, you know. You know what I mean? It's just, and you get like what, like 50 some swipes with your card. You gotta go in there and scan it. Oh, you know what I mean?
I
But
used to think about
you only can go in once. So if you go in there lunch, you can't go back out and go get another more lunch. You only go one time. One time per every eating period, which I think isn't else though. Yeah, exactly. Like when I'm not
it.
making weight, I'm getting back. I'm getting heavy
And
again.
I remember it because
It
my
was me,
weigh-in
you,
meal.
Gunner.
I remember my weigh-in meal, my first weigh-in meal, and I'm eating, and I start like tearing up a bit. I go, I'm so happy. I'm just so happy to eat because
I
I
drink
was.
first. The first sip of water you take after Wayne's.
It's like a reward.
No, it is honestly. You know, you put the work in, the hard work, the weight cut, and you got it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Fargo. I think they should definitely add the addition of girls Greco wrestling. You know what I mean? A lot of girls are in favor of it. You know what I mean? And like they're probably I saw like last this well not like this year but like last year 2022 Fargo. I'm sitting in the weigh-ins, and the girls' finals are on, and there's girls hitting like arm throws and suplexes, and
Yeah,
you know what I
the
mean.
throws that the girls have been using in freestyle would translate perfectly for Greco.
So like, why not? Why not? Why not? Who runs
And in many
or the
states,
USA Wrestling?
in many states, they have Greco-Roman championships for girl, including Pennsylvania. So if it's doing that, we might as well get it nationally. Am I right?
Hold on, we have that. We have that.
Yeah, you
Girls
didn't know
Greco.
that? We have that for
I did
Greco. Yeah.
not. I just thought it was freestyle. But all right, well, PA, what you do? We already have Greco. How do we have
How do we have
freestyle and
Greco
Greco
before we have actual folk
folk
style?
style? That's what I'm saying.
That's
Before like
wild.
actual, before they're actually in the school, like allowed, like school sanction, like they're already like sanctioned in their high school, but like they're not like fully like around the whole state high school sanction. You know what I mean? Like that's just crazy.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like, and I'm just so happy that I have someone who can really help me and know what to do with women's wrestling because at first I was so confused, but Mason really helped me out. He's like, you watch this girl, watch this team, and like these people. And it really helped me get really into women's wrestling. And I've met a lot of amazing women wrestlers through it. And it's
Well,
just like,
like the wrestling, the girls wrestling at Fargo and like World Team Trials International, it's good. They're coming a long way. It's like looking amazing. Like it's like they've been there a long time. There's like first year, second year girl wrestlers who are already winning Fargo titles. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And we have a video coming out, me and Mason, or it's going to be a few videos about how to grow women's wrestling and what people are doing to actually negatively affect women's wrestling.
and with some interviews with some
A
top level girls,
lot,
all
a
the
lot
girls
of
around
great interviews coming in with some world team members, state champions, national champions.
Fargo
So
finalists.
it's going to be really fun having these people, having these girls come on and talk about how to grow the sport. And some people are saying, uh, I find it this kind of makes me mad a bit because if people are saying, oh, we want to grow women's wrestling, we want to grow women's wrestling until it's actually time to do it. You know what I mean? And
True.
this video is the video coming up is going to tell you how to do it and what people are doing that negatively affect it.
I mean, I share as much as I can. I always wear my Grow Women's Wrestling D1 shirt, at every tournament I can, you know what I mean? Show them support, that they have people behind them, you know what I mean? Just feels good to know that they know there's followers that love watching them, you know what I mean? And just keep them going.
Absolutely.
Hey, Ned, do you have Fred anywhere?
Of course, Fred is right there.
And if anybody doesn't know, that's Fred the Fox. Fred, Ned.
The animal, Ned the animal has to have an animal with him, Fred the fox. Of course, I have my cowboy hat up there because
My cowboy hat's up there.
throw it on. Let's throw it on.
I don't know if I can walk the way over there
I think you
and
should
make sure
try.
my.
I think you should try, Mason.
All right, you get it first, and I'll go get mine.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, he's coming. He's coming back. Ned's the whole way over there.
I'm gonna jump over this couch.
Do it. Bro jumped over the couch.
I was worried I was gonna miss the couch. Here comes Mason. Here comes Mason. Oh yeah, baby. We got the cowboy hats on. This is awesome. It's awesome, man. So okay. So the
Yeehaw.
future. I think we should talk about the future and off this episode. Um, the future of the Ride Out podcast is looking really bright. I know we took a little bit off from posting and stuff, but that's because we were both busy. Mason having surgery, but we have a lot of good We have a lot of good content coming up soon. We've been really working on this. We've been really putting a lot of effort in to this video about women's wrestling. So it's gonna be really exciting, guys. So
If you
and
want to
girls
watch
too,
one,
because
true.
thank you so much for watching, Mason. I'm so happy we could finally do this again.
Hey,
Um,
I'm happy as always. I'm glad to be back with you, Ned. I missed you, man. So
I miss you. I miss you. I miss you now, Mason. I miss you now. I haven't seen you in forever. All
I'll visit
right.
you soon. Don't worry. We got Freestyle States coming up soon. It's already
Signing off.
January.
Signing off. I'm Ned Kaufman, host of the Ride Up Podcast, and this is Mason Gibson, the amazing Mason.
King Gibby. King
King
Gibby.
Gibby, as we now call him. Um, he is the amazing Mason Gibson, second ever high school Super 32 champion as an eighth grader, two-time Fargo national champion. Let's sign off. I'm Ned Kaufman. Thank you so much for listening. See you in next one, man. See you in the next
See you
video.
guys.